if we're looking to Wise or to Revolut, sometimes I wonder how those companies can grow so big, because the business model is not so complex that why banks don't do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that banks have this legacy which really doesn't allow them to come out fast with really customer-centric, really like the new services, and they are struggling with that.
Vilve, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. It's really nice meeting you.
Thank you, Chris. It's my pleasure.
Well, so let's just get started. Vilve, you have a truly fascinating track record in finance. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm Vilve Vene. Currently, I'm co-founder of Tuum. And what we do in Tuum, actually, we are building and selling next generation core banking platform. It's technology for everyone who wants to introduce new financial services, but also for big incumbent banks who are on their way to transform the services and getting rid of legacy. And about myself, actually, all my professional life, I have been building technology for banks. And I can say that it just happened because I graduated from math, and after Estonia regained its freedom, there was a lot of happening in Estonia here. And I joined with a bank, just founded from the scratch, with a goal to build a bank most modern, digital in whole world at that time. And we did it. In 10 years, we built a bank, biggest in the Baltics, and I was heading the development of technology for this bank. We were developing our core banking platform ourselves, and that allowed us to be much more innovative, much more digital than usual banks were at that time. It means that 10 years of my life, of my professional career, I was working in bank, in-house, seeing the organizations from inside. Then I started together with my co-founders, our own company, banking technology company, Icefire. And in Icefire, we built banking platforms, technology for more than 15 banks and financial institutions.
Wow.
And every time we did it from scratch. It means that exactly how customer needed it, but of course we used our knowledge, our experience gathered from our past. And then when time was ready, we started our together with our co-founders. I started my new venture. It's Tuum, and now Tuum is almost exactly 3 years old.
That is remarkable. I'm really curious because I'm sure that in your career you have seen a fair bit of transformation in financial services. So in your opinion, what has been the most disruptive trend that you have seen in financial services in, let's say, the past 20 years?
Thinking back, of course, there has been a lot of development, a lot of new things coming out, starting from internet banking, mobile banking, etc. But I still think that biggest thing that happened was cloud. When cloud became and started to evolve, and also financial institutions, banks started to trust cloud more and more. There is a totally different way of building services came up. It means that if before all banks developed their platforms, their things in-house, they did it over the years. And there were a lot of layers of legacy, and it was really hard to introduce new services. And they had also to buy their own servers or the infrastructure that costs fortune. Now they can just sign to the services, start to use it, and it's there. And it opens new way of building your bank or your financial institution.
And we're seeing a tremendous amount of financial services innovation coming out of the Nordics and the Baltics region. What can we expect to see in terms of financial services for the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think that if I'm thinking about people behavior and also what companies, SMEs, small companies, what they really need, they need convenient services. And if we're looking around in our world, in our life, then those services are getting more and more convenient, and we are getting used to that. And it means that I think that the very big trend will be embedded finance. Now it's a little bit like hype, everybody is talking about that, but I really believe that in the next 5-10 years, we consume financial services seamlessly. It means that those services will be integrated to other services we use every day. It's all payment plans, credit facilities, whatever that. We don't need to go to the bank anymore to get mortgage, for example. We can do it online, integrated with our for example, if we buy house or we buy solar panels for our house, we can get financing immediately.
Right, so financial services will become almost like an invisible part of our everyday lives, right?
Yeah, that's my belief, really.
A truly exciting future indeed.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Tuum now.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what's Tuum's core value proposition and how it differentiates itself in the market from other banking as a service or embedded banking solutions.
Yeah. When we started Tuum, it was as I already mentioned, it was my and my co-founder's second venture. Before that, for years we built banking platforms, banking systems for very different services. It included lending, card issuing, leasing, current accounts, payments, cash management even, etc. And our team, our co-founders team, we really know very deeply banking and we know technology. And over the years, we have been putting those two things together every time using really the best technology available at the market. And we always believe that technology, it's enabler. It's nothing, not a thing itself. And from that also comes why we think that Tuum has really strong value proposition in the market, because we have combined those two things, knowledge of the business and knowledge of technology, and built highly flexible, modular, API first platform, and we can cover more complex use cases than many of our competitors. And it's exactly because of our deep knowledge in business. And Tuum, it's highly modular, and we cover pretty large functionality of everyday banking, both for businesses and retail and retail customers. It means that we offer core banking core. It means currency accounts with all very flexible setup, service fees, limits, etc. Whatever you can imagine, and also payments, also lending, credit, card issuing, both debit and credit cards, and what we offer backend. It means that we don't offer customer facing part of technology, because customer facing, that's something every bank wants to own, and every bank has their own face. But in Tuum, what we provide, we will provide technology that helps you to start your business or to transform your business, transforming your backend services.
Right, and I think that's fundamental, because when all these digital transformations started, banks were really afraid that they would lose the customer interface, right? That if they partner up, they will end up losing that trusting relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really believe, because then when we started to, then in first pilot we also developed our user interface part, our mobile app, and we realized very soon that that's the part which you can't really standardize. You can't standardize. You have to keep your flexibility, your own face. That's the same with scoring models, for example. That's the thing which bank has to own, because it's their real identity. But how you do your backend, it means that backend has to be reliable, it has to be scalable, it has to be flexible, it has to work and really support your services, and that's what we provide.
Absolutely. But I'm really curious about something here, because providing a core banking platform as a service, it's a very bold move, especially in an industry that traditionally likes to keep things in-house. So my question is, what drivers or changes did you see in the industry that make you think, right, the industry is now ready for a solution like Tuum?
Yeah. If we are looking how the industry has developed over the years, we see that it's getting more and more competitive, because newcomers are coming, and in certain areas of the business, financial services, they are already taking the market share, the pretty big market share. If we are looking to Wise or to Revolut, sometimes I wonder how those companies can grow so big, because the business model is not so complex that why banks don't do it themselves. Mm-hmm. And then you see that banks have this legacy which really doesn't allow them to come out fast with really customer-centric, really like the new services, and they are struggling with that, and they are trying to find the way, and there is really it's very much the trust question, and it's a question of if you are talking with big banks, they have trying to find the ways for digital transformation, for getting rid from legacy already for years, but very little has really happened, and they are so much aware of risks, because if you touch your core, your banking core, it's risky, and they are afraid of that. But nowadays, if you look at the market, you have to really to take a moment and think, what is the biggest risk? That to do nothing and lose your market share, or take the risk in very well managed way and try to start to change your legacy, getting rid of your legacy and moving gradually, step by step, to the new one. And I see that market is now getting more and more ready for that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I think barriers to entry to the financial services space has traditionally been very high because, well, of regulation and the sheer amount of investment required for infrastructure, right? So tell us how has this changed through the disruption of our industry, and how is Tuum leveling the playing field for new entrants?
Yeah. If you look into the past, then it was if you as a entrepreneur plan to come out with something in financial services field, you probably decided, okay, I don't do it, because it's a lot of investments. You have to buy your infrastructure to acquire it. It costs fortune. Then you have to have your banking technology at the place, so those core banking platforms, etc. Then you have to have people at place who are taking care of that. Nowadays, you can use a lot of technology as a service. It means that you don't have to invest anymore to infrastructure. You pay for technology you use as a service and subscription based, and you can combine it from using different providers, best of breed ones. And it really makes it much more easier to enter to the space. When first neobanks appeared, then it was very important for them to own their own technology, because also investors looked at that. Okay, you are neobank, you develop your own your technology, and it increases your value. Now it's not anymore like that. It's very normal that you are using technology like Tuum, for example, or from other outside providers in subscription based, and you really are building your banking business. And that's the change. And that's why it's much easier nowadays to enter to financial services space.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm very curious, because we know that Estonia is the most digital country in Europe. So how has this level of digitalization contributed to the emergence of technology as a service solutions like Tuum?
Yeah, it's Estonia. We are really very digital, and already from 90s, and it's in public sector, in any other sectors, and it's somehow doing things digitally. It's the human right in Estonia. But also, if you look into Estonia, it's so small country. We are tiny, and if you do something here, start to develop your business or something, you have to think globally. And I think that's the very big advantage. And that's also one of the reasons why so many startups are coming from here, and so many fintechs. And of course we have this history we have had, and the companies and unicorns which have built there. They give a new level of people, new investors who are coming from this space. For example, Skype. Now the employees and key people in Skype, they are already investors here also, and they are like driving the mindset, driving the thinking. Same is happening with Pipe Trial. It's just made its exit. It's like and success. I think great success. And that's I think one reason why we have so many entrepreneurs and this entrepreneurial thinking really.
Yeah, success creates success. That's a fascinating insight. What in your mind, what is the biggest opportunity that fintechs have to solve or optimize the way in which the financial services industry works today?
I think there is one thing which is from one side it's challenging, from other side it's a great opportunity, and we all are now developing our services. So if we are looking again to the past, then in the past banking platforms, they were usually huge, covering everything, all services from one platform. Then nowadays it's not. When we are looking to modern platforms, modern startups, they don't offer so wide anymore. They offer a set of services. They are doing the best, and then other company is offering another part. And all those systems are built in the way that they are API based. They are meant to integrate to other services. It's always at place already, but we still are missing this ecosystem readiness, that the systems are automatically playing together with each other. If we are looking to the bank, then what bank wants, they want all of it, all the services integrated, and they really don't want to struggle that I choose this and that and this and the third one, and then I start to integrate. And I think we as startups, what they're doing in Tuum, we are working very hardly with partnership choosing the partners. For example, in AML area, we don't cover ourselves. We have pre-integrated partners. Also, the partners who are offering more wide access to different payment networks. We are partnering with those. And if we can do this pre-integration, then for customers, it's much easier, and we offer much bigger value to our customers together.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So now let's shift gears back to your entrepreneurial journey. What would you say has been your proudest moment as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I don't have to think things here, because it's true. It's the exit of my first company, Icefire. We did it last summer, and we checked Com, European biggest unicorn, I think, and world third Fintech acquired Icefire. Mm-hmm. And why they acquired Icefire was not our clients and not a product. We were a service company. We didn't have the product, but our people, the knowledge, the experience in financial services field, how to build the services, and that's what we had built the team. The company, as Checkout.com, wanted to get.
Yeah, no, and truly that kind of experience must be absolutely invaluable in the market as it is today. Yeah. Now, when we speak to fintech founders, we often hear that the journey is one of failures and learnings. What has been the most important lesson that you've learned in your career?
I think it's constant learning. It's constant learning. One thing is that you have always have really your goals, your target, your dreams, and from other side, you have to have realistic picture of your capabilities. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we have very good, very big opportunity, the thing we really want, then we go for that, and we even don't realize that this elephant is in current stage. The elephant is too big, mm-hmm. too big for us, and then it doesn't mean that you don't have to go for big challenges, but you have to always to have realistic picture and the plan how to do it. If you can't make a plan, then probably it's not too wise to go for that.
Right.
Yeah, and second thing probably is that never stuck to the idea you have in the beginning. Let it to evolve.
Right. Okay. That's very interesting. It's a very interesting perspective, right? It needs to evolve in the same way that you grow as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your journey as an entrepreneur, do you have any regrets, or have you had any regrets?
Not really. I'm maybe it's my personality, but I'm really if something goes wrong or something doesn't succeed, I never regret. I'm analyzing, I'm thinking what to learn from that. And I think for every entrepreneur, that's a very important thing, that not everything succeeds, but if something goes wrong, then you look why, you analyze, and you learn from that, and you do it again, and in wiser way, in better way.
Right. Well, Vilve, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. It's been so insightful just listening to what you had to share with us, listening to your experience. I think the knowledge that you have and the experience and track record that you have is truly invaluable in the market. So thank you so much for being so generous and sharing it with us.
Thank you, Chris. It was my pleasure.
And of course, we look very much forward to seeing you at Nordic Fintech Week in September.
Yeah, me too.
See you soon.
See you soon.